Can you hear that, guys? If you can hear that, if my shitty microphone's going to pick it up. Pissing it down, windy as hell out there. I'm going to be amazed if we don't have a power cut at some point tonight. Anyway, regardless, hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again, as always. We're going to be moving off a beaten path a little bit tonight, my friends, on my channel. We're going to be moving away from the usual conversations of migration, both legal and illegal, and the urban squalor that's currently happening in various towns up and down our country. We're going to be moving towards the conversation of illegal trade of tobacco and cigarettes in this country. Now, I spotted this article even earlier tonight, and I want to have a talk to you guys about this, because within this specific article, the I don't know what you call them, the customs branch of the police, the local police, I'm not too sure what they're called, I made out to be some kind of liberating heroes. But in actual fact, if you ask me, they are just putting a crimp on the ability for people to do what the hell they want, within terms of habits and vices, that kind of a thing. But we're going to be getting more into that in just a few short moments once I skim through this said article. Slowly prizing away a kickboard at the bottom of some shelving, the police find exactly what they were looking for. Round of a fucking applause. Dozens of cartons of brightly packaged cigarettes which are being sold illegally in the UK. They are often flogged for as little as £5 a packet, show non-graphic warning smokers here are used to now. The UK government loses more than £2.2 billion in tax each year from illegal sales as profits are funneled into organised crime. Between April 2023 and March 2024, trading standards and police forces across the UK recovered £3.6 billion illegal cigarettes, which equates to a revenue value of £678 million. In Blackburn last month, the police pulled out carton after carton of the smuggled cigarettes in their latest warrant for Operation Wonder Star, which has so far seen them raid 22 local stores. In October alone, they recovered £200,000 of illicit tobacco and vapes across Nelson, Blackburn, Oswald Twistle, Lancaster, my hometown, Morecambe and Preston. Detective Sergeant Rob Colston from Lancashire Constabulary Economic Crime Unit, that's what they're called, Economic Crime Units, said illegal cigarettes have become a fairly widespread problem. Selling these products undermines the economy and hurts legitimate businesses. I've got to ask, my dear friends, the burning question, the ever burning question on my channel is, what does the police and the government expect? Now let me run this by you, particularly for my American and overseas subscribers. Over here in the UK, you can expect to pay for a packet of 20 cigarettes up to, or nearly, £20. And a 50-gram pouch of tobacco, or hand-rolling tobacco, can set you back from between £45 and £50 per pouch of tobacco. That's just going to invite illicit sales of tobacco and cigarettes. This has always been the case, guys, even before these price hikes here in the UK. When I started smoking back in my early, far too early really, early to late teens, whatever it was, I think I was about 13 when I first started smoking. Why? Because I thought I looked cool and I looked hard. Very foolish, but that's usually the case, especially for someone my age. Why you start smoking, you see your friends doing it, they're smoking in a cool way, and you want to go along the same, and that's how it all starts, at least for me. Anyway, even back then, for as far back as I can remember, a packet of 10 cigarettes here in the UK would set me back around £1.27 for 10 Lambert and Butler, or around about £2.15 for a pack of 20. Now that has shot up exponentially in the last 30 odd years. As I said just before, we're looking at about 20 quid for a packet of cigarettes and about 50 quid for a packet of baccy. But even then, when I first started smoking, there was still an illegal trade for tobacco. I'll give you a couple of instances. There was a certain pound shop in my city centre, in my hometown, that was run by an Asian family, a Muslim family. And they had this little stock room at the back of the shop. And if they knew you by name, you know, you're always in there, that kind of a thing, you know, you tend to know each other by name when you come from small towns and cities, that kind of a thing. If they knew you by face and by name, that kind of thing, you'll get let in to this small stockroom at the back. And I swear down now, my dear friends, there was pallets of these huge grosses of Amber Leaf and tobacco. I believe it was called Turner Blend, and they were selling it from £2.50 to £5 per 50 gram pouch. And bearing in mind, when I first started smoking and when this was happening for me, a pouch of 50 gram tobacco would set you back about £9 or £10. So you're saving about 50% here going to these shops. And there was another time when I was still at school. Yes, I know smoking at school is fucking disgraceful, but nonetheless, when I was still at school and money was tight, I was only on a paper round wage at that time. The next door neighbour of my then best friend was exactly the same. He had a front room and he had stack after stack after stack of illegal tobacco. Golden Virginia used to sell it for £3.75. Me and my friend used to go around every single week with our pocket money, our paper round money, and we used to get our fill for the week. So it was still happening back then, but now it's even worse. This is to be expected. When the government tries to implement nanny state policies on people's ability to do what the fuck they want, this is always going to happen. Prohibition, another fine example. In America in the 1920s, when they outlawed the sale of alcohol, that's when you saw the emergence of bootleg liquors and speakeasies, these little underground hovels where people went to socialise, have a glass of whiskey and play illegal gambling. And the mafia were making shit tons, many hundreds of thousands of dollars all through prohibition, because you're putting a crimp on people's vices, and this is always going to happen. You see, I hear a lot of people, oh, you shouldn't be smoking anywhere, you're costing the NHS money with your cancers and stuff like that. No, and I'll tell you as to why you are wrong. You see, currently, the National Health Service is letting in Palestinians from Palestine, obviously, to have life-saving treatment on the NHS, the National Health Service, not the International Health Service, the National Health Service. They have their operations and then maybe, possibly, go back home, or there's probably going to be given citizenship anyway. So that makes the whole argument of, oh, they're going to cost the NHS millions of pounds through cancer treatments, that makes that argument null and void, if you are asking me. If we're letting in the rest of the fucking third world to use the NHS services, yeah, your argument doesn't require the steam off my piss. I would much rather see my tax money go towards, I don't know, Derek Jones, who has lung cancer through smoking 40 cigarettes a day, as opposed to someone coming from the third world to have life-saving operations on my dime, by the way. And I'll have to shoot off home, happy as Larry, kicking his heels. Wouldn't you say? I just thought I'd bring this to you, my friends. I know there's a lot of people out there who are ex-smokers, but I do believe that if you have a habit, you should be able to go ahead with that habit, as long as it's not like you're a smackhead or something like that, you know, something that's going to denigrate social cohesion. I mean, having smackheads here, there and everywhere, and the legal sale of heroin or methamphetamine or something like that, something's going to cause crime and stuff like that. Smoking isn't going to do that. I fully expect this to carry on. You can't stop this. It's just an impossibility. Like I said earlier, I'm talking 30 odd years ago, this was still going on, and it's still going on to this very day. If the government really wants to put a stop to this, lower the prices of tobacco. It's as simple as that. If you lowered the price by 100% and made a pack of 20 cigarettes £10 instead of £20, and a pouch of 50 gram tobacco £25 as opposed to £50, you will still be getting plenty of tax. You see, the other problem about this is a huge proportion of smokers in this country come from low-income families. Low-income families who can't afford to spend £20 on a packet of 20 cigarettes, can't afford to spend £50 on a pouch of tobacco. So what do? They go down the illegal route, and they go down to a, like I said earlier, some kind of little stockroom in the back wall of a little corner shop somewhere, and get it that way. And these police officers are putting a stop to that. I think it's bang out of order. It's a nanny state. It's the government trying to implement what they think is correct. They want to see a smoke-free England, what was it, by about 2040, I think it was. Why? If people want to smoke, let them smoke. They are well aware of the dangers. You don't need to put little pictures on the cigarettes to say, oh, smoking causes cancer. Smoking can cause harm to your health. People are thick in this country, my friends, but they're not that fucking dense. Someone with a brain the size of a fucking walnut knows that smoking is not good for you. But it's their choice. They are running the risk. They are playing a lottery with their life by smoking the way they do. If they want to pursue such a habit, bloody hell, fire my brain. If they want to pursue such a habit, then by all means, let them. It's going to shorten their life, and they fucking know it. Let me know what you think in the comments, my dear friends. Are you a smoker? Do you get your... Oh, you can't really say that on comments, can you? No, forget it. I was going to ask you, do you get your tobacco in a legal or illegal fashion? But yeah, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot there if you profess to that. But nonetheless, are you a smoker? Do you struggle with the price of cigarettes? In this day and age, I'm pretty sure you do. Even if you work 2 jobs, you're still going to be struggling for money with prices such as these. I'll tell you what, right, guys, before I go, beer is going the same way, right? It's nearly on £20 now for a pack of 18 Stella Artois. Stella Artois, by the way, that's going down every time I look at it in the alcohol content. It used to be 5.2. As far back as I can remember when I started drinking. Now it's like 4.8. It's going lower and lower and lower and lower with each passing time. Whatever happened to packs of 24 beers? Used to be able to get crates, we used to call them. Crates of 24 beers. They're as rare as rocking or shit now. You can even get these crappy 18 boxes, boxes of 15, or these little shitty boxes of 10. They're called fridge packs. If you enjoy a beer after a hard day's work, you're going to be running to a shop every fucking 5 minutes. Pack of 10, pack of 10, pack of 10. These packs of 10 are like 12 quid. It's extortionate. Beer's going the same way. If it keeps going up and up and up, if it goes up anymore, I'm going to have to go down the illegal route and start looking for a couple of smugglers to buy from, because I simply cannot afford it, and I work for a living, my friends. So, yeah, that's it. Anyway, that's my video, my dear friends. Carpe diem as always. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I shall see you in a bit. Cheers.